NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Kmart Automotive Service Centers, where quality car products are Kmart priced. Ford Truck, who invite you to see all the tough Ford pickups at your Ford dealer now during Ford Truck Week. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Welcome to Busch Memorial Stadium, the home of the St. Louis Cardinals, who come in here with a 1-2 record, playing host to the Washington Redskins, who've won 2 of their first 3 games of this year. I'm Gary Bender, along with Sonny Jurgensen. And Sonny, as in the past, this great rivalry has been decided so often by the kicking game.
Special teams play is going to be big, and last year they had 2 big returns. I would have to give a decided edge to the Redskins because of Mosley's great kicking. He's 6 for 6, except 1 miss from 70 yards. So I'd have to give them the edge in the kicking game.
On the other hand, the Cardinals have made a major decision today. They've elected to go with Steve Little in all their placement kickings, their field goals, their point afters. He's been battling Mike Wood for that spot, and he has the chore today. We're ready to go now with the opening kickoff of today's game, as we have a beautiful day for football, temperature at 63 degrees. The Cardinals have won the toss, elected to receive, and there's the man that Sonny mentioned just a moment ago, Mark Mosley, 6 of 7.
One thing you can look for today is for Mark Mosley to try to kick the ball away from the leading returner in the National Football Conference, Willard Harrell. Let's see if he does it here on the opening kickoff.
And that is Harrell at the bottom of your screen, and he is kicking away from him. On the far side, this is Roy Green, a rookie from Henderson State, 5th-round pick, and he's going to bring it out to the 23. And as Sonny Jurgensen mentioned, they did kick away from Willard Harrell. 16-yard return. Let's set it offensively. Wayne Morris has a gimpy knee, but he will start with O.J. Anderson in the backfield. Now, at the wide receiver spot, Mel Gray's healthy for probably the first time in 1979. Gary Parris will start at tight end in place of Al Chandler. And, Sonny, look at that offensive line. Terry Steve cannot start today.
They've moved Young to the right side and Banks at normal centers at left guard with Brahaney moving in.
And Jim Hart at quarterback. His wife, Mary, is in a hospital today watching this game, and we hope she will be fine. As on the first play, to the 25-yard line, the Cardinals, Wayne Moore is carrying the ball, and let's set it defensively now as Paul Smith will go in place of Dave Butts, who's still having problems with the knee.
He's still banged up. Smith had a big game last week. Lorch has taken Jones's spot along with Calvert and Coy Bacon.
And some new names at that linebacking core.
Don Hover and Malott, 2 young linebackers, along with Dusick, the veteran.
But boy, what a veteran they have in the backfield. Defensive secondary and Ken Houston. Hart back to throw on 2nd down and 7. Off to O.J. Anderson. The ball jarred loose. The race is on, and this is going to be whose football? They're still trying to pile up on it. Nobody has it yet. They cannot come up with a football. I've never seen anything quite like it. Touchdown, Washington. The Redskins eventually came up with it. And coming up with it is Hover, John Hover, the 8th-round pick out of Washington State. And, Sonny, I've never seen such trouble trying to get on a football.
That's what AstroTurf does. It's like a hot potato. You see a little swing pass, safety valve pass, a great hit by Malott, jars the ball loose, then the scramble goes on. Everybody had a shot at it. There's Bacon going after it. People still kicking the ball around in the end zone. That AstroTurf is something else. And a big break for the Redskins to start on the very first drive.
Well, you know, 2 weeks ago, the Cardinals had a couple of things go against them. They trailed the Giants early in the first 5 minutes, 14-0, and they put themselves in bad shape now. Mark Mosley to attempt the point after Joe Theismann to hold. And with 14:03, the Redskins lead this football game, believe it or not, already 7-0. As Washington, who's always done very, very well against St. Louis. In fact, the last time they lost here was in 1975 on that controversial Mel Gray catch. They have won 5 of the last 6. And the way they're rolling right now, 7-0, they have all intents and purposes of continuing.
Boy, to have a great lead, a 7-0 lead, and you haven't had the ball offensively, what a way to start.
So the fumble recovery reminds us to tell you we have quite a Monday night coming up on CBS, The White Shadow, as Coach Rees has charges of racism. Then on MASH, Hot Lips is a spy, and WKRP in Cincinnati, Dr. Johnny Fever has woman trouble. And then Lou Grant learns the hard way that an expose can sometimes backfire.
Well, you know that White Shadow's an excellent show.
Isn't it, though?
It really is a good show. I enjoy that.
That's tonight on CBS. Well, we're going to try it again. We're right back where we were. It didn't take long, did it? Less than a minute, and it's 7-0. Mosley to kick off. And that has got to be an unbelievable way for the St. Louis Cardinal team to start a game. Here we go. Harrell along with Roy Green back deep again. Let's see if they kick away from Harrell again. Mosley hits it very high. That's what he is so good at. And this time it will be Harrell. Harrell out to the 10. The leading punt returner in the NFC out to the 25. He makes it out to the 32-yard line. Fine return that time by Willard Harrell. Pete Wysocki made the stop.
Gary, if he had cut to his right then, he had a lane that they may not have caught him. He had open field to his right. He chose to cut back to the left, and he got stopped.
All right, let's take a look at the Green Bay score. The Packers with a big game today against the Minnesota Vikings. That's always been tough in that Central Division, and the Packers are up on top 14-7.
What about that one, huh?
We have a man shaken up for Washington. That is Wysocki, who made the tackle on Willard Harrell. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited. Let's check San Diego, New England. Holy cow, look at that one, Sonny. 20-0.
I tell you, Grogan's having some kind of year, and he must be hot again today. I don't have any particulars on the score.
New England, San Diego, that figured to be a high-scoring game, but I think most people thought it would be close. Right now, the Patriots running away with it. Let's go back now on this previous kickoff and see how Wysocki got hurt.
See him getting pushed in. He comes in, and, well, there's a lot of contact between with Neil Okowicz also coming in on the play to help out and assist on the tackle, and looks like Wysocki got the worst of it. He was underneath it.
The ball at the 31-yard line on that 30-yard return. If you just joined us, and I imagine you'd hardly taken your seats, this game already had a touchdown scored as on the second play from scrimmage, O.J. Anderson on a pass, a little flare pass, had the ball separated by Malott, and Hover fell on it in the end zone, Mosley adding the point after. And so we have a stoppage of action at the 13:52 mark. We'll be back at Busch Stadium in St. Louis as the Redskins have jumped up on top 7-0.
When you're a lifeguard, you practice all you can, because saving a few seconds may save a few lives. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Take care of your car at Kmart.
The Kmart Automotive Center has the answer to your muffler problem. The zinc-coated, double-wrapped Kmart Arrestor muffler. Have it installed by Kmart, and if anything goes wrong, they'll replace it free as long as you own your American-made car. The Arrestor. Zinc-coated and double-wrapped like the best. And best of all, Kmart price. Get it at Kmart Automotive Centers across the USA, where quality auto products are Kmart priced.
From the 31-yard line, the Cardinals down 7-0. They have a first down. Gary Paris, the tight end, jumping in on the far side of that offensive line. Tilly and Gray, the wide receivers. A give to Wayne Morris, and Morris gets it out to the 34-yard line. Hover, who just fell on that ball moments ago for the touchdown, is credited with that tackle. Wysocki, by the way, went off on his own power a while ago while we were away, so hopefully he will be all right.
Hope he didn't. It looks like they're still talking to him over there, attending to him. Hope it's not serious.
So from just short of the 34, it'll be second down and 7 for the Cardinals. Mel Gray goes to the top of the screen. He's picked up over there by Lamar Parrish, who has 3 interceptions this year. Here's Hart giving off to O.J. Anderson, out to the 40, and Anderson to the 41, close to the first down. Ken Houston, 11 straight years in the Pro Bowl, making the stop from the strong safety spot.
This is the great talent that this young man has. O.J. Anderson just coming off tackle, found a little running room, split a couple tackles, cut back. You have to get a lot of people around him in a hurry to stop him.
Well, he had 2 100-yard days in his first 2 outings. He was stopped last week by Pittsburgh, held to 37 yards. Theodis Brown now comes into the backfield. On a short yardage, 3rd and 1. They have 3 running backs in right now. And this is Anderson. He dives forward, and he got the first down for St. Louis. Boy, look at it. He was all the way out to the 45-yard line on that play. He looked like he was catapulted, as St. Louis now trying to get their legs back after that shocking start to this game.
The defensive lineman submarine then, and they got pinned down, and it was easy for him to go over the top. He jumped over the top there.
Otis Anderson in the backfield now. Wayne Morris as Theodis Brown checks out. They had to wait just before the start of this game to see if Morris could start. Last week he couldn't, and Theodis Brown did, the rookie second-round draft pick from UCLA. On a first down, Anderson's got some blocking, but then all of a sudden it closed on him. At the 47, that's Ken Houston coming up. Kenny Houston in his 13th year. He really fills on the run.
He's such a great football player, and he does so much of it with his physical ability. He can make a mistake defensively and recover and knock down passes, play the run well. He does it all, and besides that, what a fine human being.
Anderson is second in the NFC in rushing. Only Walter Payton has more yards. As we come to a second down and 8. Anderson 13 yards now on 3 carries. Play action. Off it goes to Pat Tilley. He's got some running room, and he has a first down. He's tripped up over there by Brad Dusick, or he might have gone a long ways on that one.
Well, you're so right, Gary. Dusick really recovered quickly, reading the quick screen to the wide receiver. Watch him sprint out there. You see the fake to Anderson coming up the middle. Quick setup, quick throw. He got a blocker out in front of him, and Joe Bostic, the fine rookie tackle out of Clemson, threw a block, but you saw what Dusick did. Recovered and made the play.
6th catch of the year for Tilley. He had a great game against Washington last year. He had 7 catches, 123 yards. So the Cardinals with a first down at the 45 of Washington. There is Anderson. Now he's to the 42. We just had an update on Pete Wysocki. He sustained a neck injury, may not play the remainder of the afternoon.
Well, that's bad news.
Dave Steef now comes in, replacing Pat Tilley at wide receiver for the Cardinals. Second down and 7 from the 42-yard line of Washington.
You see him there. It's like he's taking off his pads.
4th-year man out of Western Michigan. He was an all-pro performer in the Canadian Football League before joining the Redskins. Excellent on the special team. On a 2nd and 7 for Hart. Protection very good. Cranks up. Steep to the 20-yard line. Steep to the 15. To the 10. He fumbles the ball. Washington picked it up. Coming out is Mark Murphy. Murphy out to the 20, to the 25, and the Cardinals have suffered 2 very costly fumbles in this first quarter of play.
Well, that was a big play by Hart. He was right on the money on the pass. You see Dave Steef coming across the middle. Had a kind of an intermediate pass, good protection. He steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball, and you see how open he was. But he got a little careless with the football here, trying to get some extra yards. You see the man, Kenny Houston. See again what effect he has in a football game. Jabbed the arm in there, knocked the ball loose. Mark Murphy picks the ball up and runs back up the field.
Well, a 32-yard pass completion, but the Redskins have the football at their own 23-yard line.
It's Ford Truck Week, the biggest clearance offer in Ford truck history. The best-selling trucks of the 70s must make way for the new 80 Ford truck. Previously announced factory incentives to Ford dealers make lower prices possible, so you can save hundreds on tough Ford V8 pickups, tough Ford V8 vans, tough Ford Broncos and Rancheros too. Save hundreds on the best-selling trucks of the 70s until the introduction of the 80s. See your Ford dealer now during Ford Truck Week.
Life of Georgia has millions of futures to protect. And one way we do this is with solid investment. In a hydroelectric plant in Quebec, a helicopter company in Oregon, energy research in Wyoming, a university medical complex in Alabama, the city of Atlanta, and many others. We're Life of Georgia. We're one of the largest life insurance companies in the United States, and we're working to ensure your future.
Monday on The White Shadow, an angry youth turns the team against Coach Reeves when he labels him a bigot.
If Albert don't play, then we ain't gonna play.
Starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Well, they talk about turnovers in football being costly. Ask the Cardinals about it right now.
They've had 2, been very costly ones.
32-yard pass completion, but then Murphy picked it up and raced back the other way 22 yards after Ken Houston jarred the ball away from Dave Steep. Theismann on first down, got a lot of time, dumps it off to Benny Malone. Malone to the 32-yard line. And the protection there was just excellent. Let's look at that offensive attack for the Washington Redskins. Riggins still a superback.
Got to be well rested, too. First time they've been on the field.
And there's the wide receiver core, and Gene Fugit already has 3 touchdown catches.
Yes, leading the league in, I think, for tight ends. There's your offensive line. Hermeling, Saul, Kazeel, Williams, and Stark doing an outstanding job this year giving Theismann protection.
They stay healthy, and of course they hit the weights in the offseason. That's a much stronger physical line than it was in a year ago. 2nd and 2 from the 31. Malone diving, trying to get the first down. Benny Malone out of Arizona State, the former Miami Dolphin, 2nd-round draft pick. And Charlie Davis, the nose tackle, made the tackle, and they're going to measure to see if he did get the first down. Washington felt in this game that they've got to get Theismann outside, let him run around back there and make things happen. Right now, though, he's just dropped back and he's had the protection.
Well, in just their first possession here, as they measure for the first down, one thing the Cardinals wanted to do, Gary, and that was to contain Joe Theismann. He hurts you, and they have been hurt in their 2 losses to Dallas and to Pittsburgh, where the quarterback, as they make the first down, the quarterback Staubach and also Bradshaw getting outside of the defensive line rush and making a big play against him, and they want to contain Joe Theismann.
And Theismann can run very well, as evidenced Monday night on that quarterback draw that went for a touchdown.
One of my favorite plays.
You ran it well. I remember. From the 34, first down now for Washington. With a 7-0 lead, Theismann gives off to John Riggins, and he tried to cut back, and Charlie Davis, number 76, and some of his teammates, Mike Dawson, there in a hurry. Let's set defensively now, this St. Louis team. Up front, Bob Pollard had 4 sacks against the Giants this year.
Davis is leading the linemen in tackles, and you see their 4 linebackers, and better linebacking than they've had in the past. I think they're playing better as a group. The secondary, Allen Worley, Ken Green, and Kenny Stone.
Kenny Stone, a former roommate of Joe Theismann, and they love to play against each other.
He already has 2 interceptions this year.
2nd and 9 from the 35. This is Malone trying to get outside. He's got the corner, 40, 45, and that'll be a first down. Benny Malone. Boy, he has the most unusual running style, doesn't he? Ricky Thompson threw a good block over there.
What you're talking about, an unusual style. Look at him. He's kind of galloping, punishing type of runner. Gets a good block, cuts back almost a clip there. Could have been a clip on Allen, looked like. Ricky Thompson.
Also understand our director telling us that he bites well, too, Benny Malone.
Well, he was accused of biting Gary Jeter last week.
First down from the 45-yard line. Theismann wanting to throw on first down. Protection is there. He dumps it off to Malone, and he's hit hard. Coming up is Kurt Allerman, 3rd-year man out of Penn State. All right, we have Baltimore game and Pittsburgh, and Bert Jones, is he playing today? It's 10-10 in that game.
We can find some information here on this. They got off to a big start. Bars kicked a couple of field goals. Stallworth caught a pass from Bradshaw. No, Greg Landry's playing.
Greg Landry is playing. 10-10 on that one. We'll keep you posted on all the scores today. And a lot of the same stations will be watching the Chicago-Miami game at the conclusion of this one. 2nd and 6 now from the 49. Theismann off to Riggins. Riggins into the Cardinal end of the field at the 49-yard line, and he paid for that one. Coming over in a hurry was Bob Pollard.
This is really the thing the Redskins want to do. They want to keep the ball away from Hard and company and have sustained drives. They're doing that now. They're moving the ball, a little short passes, and having good possession here.
24-12, the Jets. Boy, I tell you, that Todd's got him moving, doesn't he?
Yes, he hit that last score was a Todd pass, a 37-yarder to Wesley Walker.
Clarence Harmon now is checked in along with Buddy Hardiman. Harmon and Hardiman now in the backfield for the Redskins on a 3rd and 4. Theismann, protection again, very excellent. The pass is caught. Coming up with it is Harmon, who's just a fine pass receiver. He had Carney draped all over him. Did he get the first down? I don't know. They may have to measure. Harmon, who caught a touchdown pass last week, and he's just one of those guys who will come up with them all the time.
Talk with him. He was real pleased about seeing his brother run a punt back yesterday for Mississippi.
Okay, getting an update on that Baltimore game to confirm the fact that Jones is not playing today. It is Greg Landry that's going to quarterback.
They got a kick out of there. Their new kicker, McNamara, hit one, a 27-yarder for their first score.
Both those brothers are in action today. It's 4th down, and the Redskins are going to go for it. Riggins and Malone now come back into the backfield. 4th down, less than a yard, just short of the Cardinal 45-yard line, and timeout is going to be called. Timeout by Washington. So the Skins ask for their first of 3 here in this first half. They have a 7-0 lead, precipitated by a big fumble on only the second play from scrimmage in this game, and then the Cardinals are on the move only to fumble inside the 5-yard line.
2 big breaks, and I'm sure Theismann didn't have exactly what he wanted or the personnel he needed for the 4th down play, because it is a big gamble here.
Jack Pardee talks it over. Pardee, who last year directed the Redskins to an 8-8 record. There's timeout, 7-0, Washington.
A lot of people think using Federal Express is complicated. But really, it's so simple, even a vice president can do it.
Hello, Federal.
All you do is pick up the phone. We come to your office and pick up the package. Or even a president can do that.
Hello, Federal.
In fact, using Federal Express is so simple that even a chairman of the board can do it.
Hello!
Federal Express, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
And that's the news. We'll have the weather, sports, and today's...
Arthritis hurts. Even getting dressed can be a painful experience. But one prescription drug, which gives some people relief from this pain, comes from a chemical that's made by my employer, the Phillips Petroleum Company. I like that. It's good to know your company's work helps people. I take the drug myself. It's what helps me get to work some days.
Phillips Petroleum. Good things for cars and the people who drive them.
With Sonny Jurgensen, I'm Gary Bender. We have a 4th and less than a yard to go. Joe Theismann, who's 3 of 3 passing, has his play called after taking a timeout to do that. Clarence Harmon, John Riggins, and Benny Malone, all 3 running backs are in there. Harmon now in a wing or slot position. Theismann giving off to Riggins. He got it. And that's the guy you would think they'd go to in a short yardage play. He is tough. 230-pounder out of Kansas.
Boy, some excellent blocking on that left side by Hermeling and Ron Saul and Bob Kuzil. They moved everyone back, and also the Warren had come in at tight end over there. Good blocking at the point of attack.
Only the 3rd man in Redskin history to gain 1,000 yards, and you saw what he did here a year ago in Busch Stadium, 108 yards. First down at the 43, Malone. In the backfield, Ricky Thompson split to the bottom of the screen. Inside handoff to Malone, and Malone able to pick up a couple of yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. There's Theismann, 30-year-old man, and the job is his this year. And it's been said so often, he has some success. His leadership will follow close on the heels of it.
He's had outstanding games so far, throwing 62% on the year, 5 touchdowns so far.
He's the type of guy with that added dimension of running that really concerns St. Louis. St. Louis with an attack defense this year. They used to be a hit-and-read defense.
That's right. They feel like change their philosophy. You're talking about worrying St. Louis with his running ability. How about all teams?
2nd and 8. Theismann off to Malone. Malone with Saul ahead of him was a blocker, but it doesn't develop. And the reason was Tim Carney. Carney, the leading tackler on the St. Louis team over there, and there's never been any lack of enthusiasm on the part of number 56. Let's go back and see the sweep again.
You watch this play. You see Riggins will go up into the line, and you see both guards pulling a Saul out in front of Malone, just kind of loping along, waiting for his blocking to develop. But boy, that allows on the 34 defense, it really allows the pursuit to move laterally along the field, and as they did then and made the play.
No gain. 3rd and 8 now. Buddy Hardiman's come in, an excellent receiver in a passing situation. He already has 7 catches, 5 of them Monday night. Back to throw. Theismann wide open. Nobody is close to him. Buddy Hardiman. And Hardiman's going to take it in, and I don't know what happened on that play, but there was nobody within 10 yards of Buddy Hardiman.
They missed the coverage. They just made a mistake in the secondary. You saw the same thing. Watch Hardiman, number 22, coming out, just a little check out. Nobody there. They came at a blitz. He just checked down, and look how wide open he is. There's Kenny Green chasing him. Kenny Stone chasing him. Nobody around to catch him, just kind of Waltzes on down. Easy touchdown for Washington.
Boy, is this guy having a year?
Oh, he is. He's an intelligent player and plays with a lot of poise.
You can see the stats on him. That touchdown grab going for a total of 41 yards. And here is Mosley's point after, and it's 14-0 at the 2:56 mark of the first quarter. And the Redskins, who are trying to win 6 of the last 7 with St. Louis, off in very impressive fashion as Joe Theismann is hitting his targets.
The AC Spark Plug 5/7 get one free sales on right now. Participating outlets where you see this poster.
Thanks, AC.
Americans are learning that if their car's plugs are misfiring, a tune-up with new AC Spark Plugs can help improve gas mileage. Thanks, AC. Now's the time to tune up because AC Delco is making it possible for you to get 8 AC Spark Plugs for the price of 7.
Thanks, AC.
Tune up with AC. Buy 7. Get one free.
Thanks, AC.
Jean Marie McTeague, age 6 hours. And along with Jean, you get weeks of sleepless nights, months of dirty diapers, and a lifetime of responsibilities. Nationwide can help you handle those responsibilities with life insurance for you and every member of your family, even the new ones. And knowing you're prepared for Jean is what our blanket protection is all about.
Nationwide is on your side.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition. The action-packed competition of the 79 Canoe Kayak World Championships and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Well, there's Bud Wilkinson, his team down 14-0. Reminiscent of that New York Giant game. We should remember one thing. Washington's been a fast-starting team in the first half, only to have problems in the second half.
That's right. They look like they're playing well today, though. Here's the high kick.
This is going to be Harrell. Whoops. And he gets on it, and they've got fumbleitis today. The Cardinals already fumbled twice, almost lost another one. The crowd here not too happy about the way the Cardinals are playing in the early going. Harrell kind of paid for that one, too. He took a pretty good shot when he fell on the ball. You know, Theismann thus far is 4 of 4, Sonny, for 56 yards.
All backs. He just little simple passes.
That last one, a 41-yard touchdown strike to Buddy Hardeman, a rookie free agent who played at Iowa State. I don't know where they found him, but they're not going to let him go. So the Cardinals trying to regroup forces. 2:49 to go in this first quarter play. O.J. Anderson trying to go wide. He gets away from Lamar Parrish, but over there to knock him out of bounds on the far side. Linebacker Brad Dusick. Halftime score, Detroit. Detroit leading Atlanta. That's a surprise.
Boy, it is.
The Lions really having problems with injuries. As you look at Anderson, just a quality football player, but also quite a gentleman off the field. He picked up 4 yards, 2nd and 6 now from the 21. You're going to have Gray and Tilley at the bottom of the screen as Joe Lavender, Lamar Parrish go over there to pick him up. Jim Hart, play action fake, protection is there, flag on the play, complete to Theodis Brown. He's got the first down, but a flag has been thrown back at the 15-yard line. Joe Lavender knocked Theodis Brown down. Holding against St. Louis, so they just right now are their worst enemy.
They are. They looks like they really have lost something, Gary. After playing those 2 tough games against Dallas and Pittsburgh, they don't look like they're playing with the same intensity. And Wilkinson was concerned about that, and it's obvious now they've made some mistakes. They fumbled the ball twice, and now they have a holding penalty. I tell you, this game could get out of hand if they're not careful.
Holding by the offense, number 54, second down.
Red Cashin, this crew working the game, that's Tom Banks. Now Banks, of course, playing out of position. He's playing at a guard, the left guard. Bob Young moved from left to right guard. Rahaney's at center. As Kerry Steve, their excellent man, out of the University of Wisconsin, has a bad ankle. They waited till late today before deciding he couldn't go. 2nd and 16 now. The Redskins may have jumped off. Give up the middle to Theodis Brown. And Brown out of UCLA to the 14-yard line, but it looked like Washington may have jumped off on that one.
Looked like Coy got a little excited and moved a little early. See if it's not going to be Coy.
What it is, a 5-yard offside penalty. You know, you look at Washington, Sonny, And in the first 3 games this year, they've led 17-6 at half, 17-3, 17-0. Isn't that interesting?
And that's outscored their opponents as we listen.
By the defense, number 79, second down.
Got you, Coy. But look at this score. Oakland leading Kansas City. An 88-yard punt return by J.T. Smith was their score there. How about that one?
And so now from the 12-yard line, should make it the 16-yard line. It's second down and 11. Joe Jones has now come in defensively for Washington. Here's Hart. Protection is very good. He's got his man, Theodis Brown, and Brown out to the 23-yard line. They're still going to be 5 yards short of the first down. Ken Houston, who's figured in a lot of tackles here in the early going. Theodis Brown, who's a roommate and very good friend of O.J. Anderson, the number 1 and 2 picks for this Cardinal team. They figured they had their best draft ever. 7 of the first 8 picks made the team.
Well, they got a real steal. The Redskins are very high on, and that's the right tackle, number 71, Joe Bostic for them. Or do they have a radio show here, don't they, Gary? Theodis and Otis or something?
That's right. The Otis and Otis show. Hart is now 4 of 4 for 38 yards. Blitz, and he got it off to Pat Tilley. Tilley up to the 40. Tilley to the 45. To the 15, gets out of bounds. Hart was able to get rid of that football, and Sonny, that's what you talked of earlier. They wanted to come after him a couple of times.
They came with both safety men. Then watch it. You see Murphy and Kenny Houston. They picked it up well. Hart read it well. Throws the ball to Tilley. Lavender bounces off, and Tilley, watch him straighten his helmet here as he's running. And he takes it on out of bounds. He wasn't going much farther than that.
Pat Tilley, who had 62 catches last year. That was a 29-yard gain to the 49, and the Cardinals down 14-0. Trying to put it together. Dave Steep replaces Tilley at wide receiver. He and Gray are flanked out. A first down, Hart to throw. Far side, Mel Gray. And Gray's got it, and he's out of bounds. And that'll be another first down just short of the 30-yard line. And there is Gray. That's only the 4th catch of the year for him. He's had hamstring trouble all year long.
I'll tell you something, that's vintage Jim Hart, too. He split the zone on that pass. He laid it over the rotation. And this is what Jim Hart hasn't been doing. He went to the strength of this defense, but that looks like Jim Hart. You see the 2 men. He beats the defense with the football. Excellent throw.
And that catch keeps his streak alive. 79 straight now. At least 1 reception. He had 1 last week for 48 yards to keep it going. And today, that pass good for 19 yards to the 31. First down for the Cardinals. Second back, Anderson. And he runs into a lot of congestion inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. You know that he is a marked man every time he gets the football. After he opened the year, a 193-yard effort against Dallas.
Even though he didn't start the game, Dave Butts has now entered the game for Washington. Is playing banged up a little bit. He had a sprained knee. Thought it was an interesting story hearing about Dave coming back here to play. How many tickets he had to get?
65.
65 tickets.
The number he has on his jersey.
That's right.
Hart now is 6 of 6 for 86 yards. He's played well against the Cardinals. Butts has 14 solo tackles last year. A reverse. It's all messed up. The ball is loose. Who's got it? The Cardinals. No, they don't. Washington came up with it. And the Cardinals cannot hang on to the football. That's the 3rd costly fumble in this first quarter. Carl Lorch finally got on it.
And Kenny Houston calls it. They had another safety blitz on then. He came on a safety blitz. Watch coming from the left of your screen. Kenny Houston coming through. Grabs Anderson. They're losing a little power there or something. He grabs Anderson. Breaks up the play. They fumble the exchange. Hart's trying to get it. There again. AstroTurf again. You see who's back there? Hover back there. Linebackers. They were coming on the blitz again.
Boy, they just haven't been able to get on the football. They beat the Cardinals. And now from the 45-yard line, a first down. Here's Benny Malone. Malone for a couple of yards to the 47. 3 very costly turnovers. And Washington has capitalized on a couple of them to have that 14-0 lead. Mark Arneson making the stop that time. As Washington is off and moving, the Skins, who many people thought would have a long year in a rebuilding process, but Jack Pardee said, we're a playoff contender, and I think people are going to start believing them.
Well, they've doing what they have to do. Theismann's playing better. He's playing within his confines. They're calling the plays for him, helping him, and he's had excellent games.
There's a mishandled snap, but Theismann's able to get on it. Loses yardage to the 45.
And that's something just as we start talking about it, they're losing the ball, but they fall back on it.
You know, St. Louis this year defensively has caused 11 fumbles. But on the other hand, it's been the other way around today as the Redskins have precipitated all those turnovers. And that's going to be the end of our first quarter of play. And it's been all Washington as the Redskins have a 14-0 lead. As the Cardinals with 3 big turnovers, 3 fumbles in the first 15 minutes of play.
Antifreeze. You never think about it, or how it has to protect somebody beside you, or what could happen without it. Stranded in freezing weather and no help for miles. Don't trust your luck. Don't trust the weather. Take out old, weak antifreeze now, and put your trust in Prestone, too. More people trust Prestone than all other brands combined.
I've been worried about you.
More people trust Prestone. And when you flush your cooling system, trust Prestone Super Flush.
Where's Merlin? Where did it go?
Janie's got it playing tic-tac-toe.
Now where's Merlin?
When last seen it was out with Dad playing blackjack. 13.
Where's Merlin now?
It's not there. It's out with Billy playing Magic Square.
Merlin is a computer with personality. Plays 6 different games, talks with 20 sounds. 6 pen-light batteries not included.
Where's Merlin now? Better come clean.
In the kitchen with Mom playing music machine.
Merlin from Parker Brothers.
Now, the best Zenith ever, System 3, is even better.
Even better.
The sharpest Zenith picture ever.
Sharpest picture.
An all-modular chassis designed to be the most reliable Zenith ever.
Most reliable.
And now, better sound. 4 speakers, audio jacks, even an audio control center.
Better sound.
Zenith System 3.
System 3.
Now, even better.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, be sure to watch the new exclusive interview with Johnny Carson. Then Archie Bunker's Place gets a new partner, Martin Balson. And guest star Telly Savalas joins Alice. And then the Jeffersons are back with a big surprise. And Pernell Roberts stars as Trapper John N.D. That's tonight on CBS.
Sounds like a good lineup, huh?
That's super. From the 45 now. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Theismann gives up. Big running room. Running it out is Clarence Harmon, and Harmon has a first down. On a 3rd and 10, they crossed him up. Went on the ground, and Clarence Harmon picked it up.
Good call here. You see the blocking. Good blocking inside. Good block on Green. Coming over, Arneson misses the tackle. Tell you, Clarence Harmon comes in, and we said every game you see the Redskins play, he makes things happen. As he did here, he picks up enough for the first down.
Out of Mississippi State, a free agent in 77, a 12-yard pickup on the play to the 48-yard line of St. Louis. That's Riggins going in motion. Theismann, he has everything moving right now. Buddy Hardiman, he dives just short of the 40-yard line. Boy, he's a tough little guy, 6 foot, 190-pounder. It was Tim Carney that cut the legs out from under him. Hardiman, who's just done a little bit of everything for this football team. Kickoffs, punt returns, he's thrown a completion. Of course, he was a quarterback at Iowa State. Halftime score on San Diego, New England, and now look at that. The Chargers earlier trailed 20-0.
That's right. Fouts came back and hit Jefferson with a 19-yarder, and then Williams goes over to make it 20-14 at halftime.
Malone has come in now for Hardiman on a 2nd down and 8 from the 41. This is Big John Riggins trying to go wide. John Zook gets a hand on him as Riggins gets just inside the 40-yard line. And that's an interesting combination because Zook and Riggins play together at the University of Kansas on a team that won the Big 8 conference title. Jets and Buffalo as we keep you updated. That's going to be a high-scoring affair.
Yes, it is. Butler on a 75-yard pass from Ferguson. Now it's 24-19.
Harmon and Hardiman, the two backs H boys, have come in now at the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 6. Just underway, 2nd quarter, 14-0. The Redskins with the lead. Theismann back, protection, excellent again. It's been all day. He's got his man, Ricky Thompson, all jarred loose. It's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. Thompson took a pretty good shot that time when he went into the air to come down with a reception. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
Not only did he run a good pattern, but Joe Theismann had excellent time to deliver the football. You see the curl pattern. You see him just clearing, coming back toward the ball to meet the ball. That was the important thing on it. Carl Allen comes in, delivers the blow, jars it loose. They call it incomplete, brings up a 4th down.
That's the only pass that Theismann hasn't connected on now. He's 4 of 5.
It wasn't his fault.
That's right. Bragg back to kick. Boy, this guy can place the football as well as anybody in the NFL. Willard Harrell, the leading punt returner, is back. The leading punt returner in the NFL. The kick by Bragg. He's kicking away from Harrell. And he's going to like that one. At the 5-yard line, it's down. That's Monty Coleman, an excellent special teams performer for Washington, who came up with it. And the Cardinals are 95 yards away as they trail 14-0 in the first half.
People used to preserve their food with a chemical called sodium chloride. Salt, not very effective. Today, Monsanto makes a chemical preservative called potassium sorbate that keeps food days and weeks longer without spoiling. No chemical is totally safe all the time, everywhere, but with a worldwide shortage of food, we need chemicals like potassium sorbate. Without chemicals, life itself would be impossible.
It's official. Ford's answer to rebates, the largest incentives ever available to its dealers. The biggest clearance offer in Ford history just got bigger. See your Ford dealer and discover how many hundreds of dollars you can save on new trimmer LTDs, Mustang pace car replicas, elegant Thunderbirds, tough V8 pickups, vans, Broncos, Rancheros. Compare the total Ford deal with any other. You may well find it's the best value overall.
Sonny, nobody does a better job on punt coverage of special teams in Washington. Let's look again at that last play.
It's something they pride themselves on. They work at it very hard in practice. Watch Monty Coleman. Down, waiting for the football. He just got downside on the 5-yard line and stops the ball right there. It's something they work on every day in practice, and it pays dividends.
34-yard kick down at the 5. Coleman out of Central Arkansas, 11th round pick, the first guy ever drafted from that school. And he was an all-conference safety, then moved to a linebacker as a senior. The Otis Brown and Otis Anderson, the running backs. The Cardinals at the 5, trailing 14-0. A flag on the play as coming out of there is the Otis Brown. They're going to blow the play dead. Just about the time it got underway, and Hart's over there. He wants to know what's going on as he's visiting with Red Cashian.
He said, look, you've got me backed up on my own 5-yard line. You know, give me a break. You know, now you're going to penalize me again, half the distance to the goal line?
When it rains, it pours, right? I tell you. And so now, inside the 5-yard line, half the distance.
Can I use that sometime?
Okay. 13-17 left as the Cardinals somehow got to get things going. It looked like
formation. The tackle was open on the end of the line. First down.
Wasn't lined up on the line.
Backing up, a lot of times that happens. Now, see, he was on the offside. He had no immediate block as far as the point of attack, and he just got a little careless and backed up a little bit. A rookie.
First down, 12 is the situation. Let's make it 13 yards as you see Brown and Anderson in the backfield. Trying to hammer it out, but boy, it's tough to do that as Brown meets a lot of opposition that time. Well, do you gamble a little bit here, Sonny? You're down 14-0.
Well, both quarterbacks, you can see the changes in the rules, how it affects the passing. They're both excellent throwers, but Theismann's missed one he should have completed, and Hart is 6 for 6. So people are open. I think he'll put it up.
There's Big Joe Bostic, 71, playing in place of Dan Deerdorf, the All-Pro who's out for the year with the knee injury. Bostic, third-round draft pick out of Clemson. Gary Parrish jumping in on a 2nd and 11. Here's Hart. He's going to crank up. Got his man over the middle. That's Parrish, the tight end, and Parrish very close to the first down. He's out across the 15-yard line. And it's going to be a first down for St. Louis, so they get out of there.
Gary Parrish made a big catch against Pittsburgh last week to set up a touchdown, and he found an open spot in the middle of that zone, ran right directly in the middle of the field. I saw him throwing that in warm-ups today, and he makes a nice catch.
Would you believe that your quarterback's hit 7 of 7 and you're still trailing 14-0? That's what Hart faces right now. Harris playing in place of Al Chandler. They picked him up when he was cut by the Cleveland Browns. A couple of years ago, he had a good year, catching 27 passes. This is O.J. and Anderson. Boy, is he drawing a crowd. He starts to make that cut against the grain, which he's so effective in doing, and you get the feeling they're waiting for him.
That's the price you pay, Gary. When you develop a reputation and you're as outstanding runner as he is, people start keying on him, and every time he gets the ball, everybody's zeroed in on him and gathers a crowd very quickly.
23 yards for O.J. on 7 carries. 2nd down and 7.
Atlanta and Detroit are tied up. Here in the 3rd quarter now, 10 apiece.
Atlanta trailing early in that game and coming back. They've been scoring a lot of points. Here's Hart on the 2nd down. Coming down to Tilley. Tilley stumbled, but the ball was overthrown anyway. Lamar Parrish had excellent coverage.
He's one of the best single covers in the game. That's such a tough pattern to throw. He had to deliver the ball before the break was made. It's a guesswork as far as just something you work at your timing and practice, and he overthrew him in.
So it's 3rd down and 7. Hart throwing the ball very effectively, something that he's had some problems with in the first 3 games.
That's his first miss of the day, wasn't it?
That's right. Look at the 3rd down conversion. You know, Washington's the best at that on 3rd down conversions.
They spent a lot of time in training camp working on that.
So at 3rd and 7. Hart has the protection. He's rolling out a little bit. Look out. Oh, is he hit from behind by Joe Jones. You don't see Jim run around back there very much. He tried to get a little more time, and boy, he paid for that one.
He tried to bar some time, and the rush just caught up with him. Excellent coverage that time. No one open to throw to.
And so inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, as Buddy Hardiman will go back. He's 2nd in the NFC in punt returns, only behind Willard Harrell. And Little will be kicking. Steve Little, who's going to do it all today, the first time that he's going to punt, kick off, kick the field goals, and point afters. You can see he's kicking very well this year. That's the 5th best average in the NFC. Little to Hardiman. Hardiman at the 44 and hit hard inside the 40-yard line. Buddy Hardiman dropped in a hurry, and number 58 is Johnny Fairfield, who came up to make that tackle. 35-yard punt, a 5-yard return. We'll be back as the Redskins lead it by 14.
You dance on a river of wood, and you never forget that the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing. And when you've coaxed enough logs into place to build a good-sized town, you can finally head for River's End and Miller Time. Miller Time. Time for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life. America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
It's the World Series of Golf. Next Saturday and Sunday, the best of world-class players shoot for the title in the World Series of Golf. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Bud Wilkinson visiting there with his defensive coordinator, as he would like somehow to get this football game to swing around. They're down 14-0. First down now at the 37, Washington. Joe Theismann, Buddy Hardiman, he can throw. He's got a man down there, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Stone, his 3rd interception of the year. The man was John Riggins, who was had beaten the secondary down there, but the ball was underthrown.
He did. He had him open real early, just wide open, but he tries to throw the ball hard to him instead of laying it up out in front of him. And Stone made an excellent interception.
So Hardiman earlier had thrown for a 30-yard completion. He's 1 for 2 on the day as we have a timeout.
If anybody appreciates the end of the day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store. Because during the day, no other store works harder to give you quality parts and friendly service. Why, only this morning.
Okay, you need a muffler and a tailpipe? Brakes for a 67 Plymouth? We'll have it here by 11 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I can show you how that goes on.
You need 6 gas cans? Yes, we can grind drums. Is it a V8 or a 6?
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A, the hard-working auto parts store.
When choosing between the phone and a business letter, remember, the letter is loaded with hidden costs.
I see you.
There's dictating time, typing time, filing costs, materials, even mailing costs.
Sorting, sealing, stamping, and postage.
To reduce those costs, don't reach for a stamp. Reach for the telephone. The phone's a better buy than the business letter.
Jack Pardee, things have gone pretty well for his football team, except for just a moment ago, Ken Stone with the interception.
That's their first turnover.
Stone with his 3rd interception of the year. What a year he had a year ago. Coming up with 9 of them. Here's Hart on first down. Tilley almost didn't get the football put away, but he held on. And again, it just accentuates the problem they're having today, hanging on to the football.
Well, that thing's alive today, isn't it?
Oof. That'll be a first down, and Tilley having a very good day for St. Louis. He only had 5 catches coming in here. They've been throwing an awful lot to the backs, but now he's gone to Tilley today.
Well, I think Hart obviously feels more comfortable throwing the ball today. This is probably the best day he's had so far throwing.
Tilley, 2 catches, 33 yards. First down at the 33. Hart off to O.J. Anderson. Otis Anderson out to the 40. He drags him for a first down. He dragged Mark Murphy, the free safety, with him, and Murphy's no small guy. He's 6'4", 210 pounds.
That's something you can't teach. Watch this run. You can't teach this. Just a pitch back. You see the pursuit trying to come over. Bacon, he gets a good block, cuts back in, but then he goes back out. Talbot all the way back trying to make a play on him. Doesn't quite get there. Murphy, you see the strength of that young man.
35 yards. They call him O.J. because his name is Otis Jerome. And, of course, there's another O.J. we know about. And there's some people saying he's the second coming of O.J. Here is Theodis Brown, his rookie counterpart, moving the ball to the 47, just short of the 48. Over, making the stop for Washington.
And again, Gary, Washington was coming on a blitz, a safety blitz that time. Ken Houston breaking through the middle. Sometimes it's a calculated risk. If you guessed wrong, you're capable of breaking a long one against it.
Cincinnati, Houston, and Cincinnati has had some problems. They're leading.
24-17. That's in the 3rd quarter with 13:48 left.
On a 2nd down and 7. Hart, play action fake. Look out, Warch. He got rid of it to Theodis Brown. Brown got a block. He's to the 50, to the 48-yard line, and they almost had a disaster on that play.
Look what I found. You see the catch is a one-handed catch.
Well, Brown is an excellent receiver out of UCLA. They feel that for a big man that he has that added dimension to catch the ball, and he along with Otis Anderson have both been timed in the 40 in 4.65.
What's he got, 25 pounds on the...
And there's Steve. Gary Steve, the young man who has the ankle problem. They wanted to start him today. He's played very well, but as you can see, he will not see action today. Hart now is 8 of 9 for 114 yards in this game.
Here they come again.
4, he got rid of it again to Tilley, but he didn't get rid of it close enough to him. Boy, that blitz, that makes you get rid of it, doesn't it?
Well, he's having to reset. They've given him a steady diet of it. They want to force him to throw the ball quickly. And they're going to get a turnover here because getting another possession because the Cardinals are going to have to kick that thing away.
Boy, what a rivalry this is, the Packers and Vikings.
Tied it up. Minnesota's Robert Miller had a 3-yard run to tie that game. That's 5:27 left in the 3rd quarter.
Buddy Hardiman, and now you look at Steve Little. Hardiman, as I said, 2nd in the NFC in punt returns, averaging almost 15 yards a return. Big rush, and Little hits a beautiful kick. Oh, did he hit that one? The Cardinals are not going to be able to save it, are they? They may. Tom Brahaney at the 1-yard line. The Cardinals got a real break. They didn't have anybody down there, but Sonny, that ball just hung in the air. It suspended itself there.
Because the point went over on the kick, on the punt, the nose of the ball went down and hit, and it did not go forward. It stayed right there.
And you're looking at 51, Tom Brahaney, who snapped the ball, who came down and downed that ball at the 2-yard line.
If we could take you through the plant to show you what is new and let you see what's going on and watch the things we do. If you could see the cars and trucks we're working on for you, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
Introducing the Incredible Ford Factory Tour. Come and see the incredible things we're doing to rethink, redesign, reshape the automobile.
If you could see tomorrow the way it looks to us today, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
To take the Incredible Ford Factory Tour, write us for information.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, look out for the return of the world's strongest men competition. The action-packed competition of the 79 Canoe Kayak World Championships and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.